Welcome to the Rob and Cale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Cale
it.
Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Cale podcast.
Let's go.
And welcome into the Rob and Cale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining me this evening. Jackpot texted me earlier. Of course, he is the best damn Gamecock YouTuber on the planet. He's in the upstate. With the South Carolina flag, the old block C hanging over his shoulder.
Yep.
Yep.
Worst team.
Go ahead.
Worst team out there going into 2024 season. Just an absolute wreck.
Do you believe
I'd be
that?
surprised if they win a damn game. We're talking over and unders tonight. I'm gonna be shocked if they win a damn game, but we'll see what I can come up with tonight.
Well, we'll put you on the South Carolina with the under, because that's what you just said there. So we'll see. Anyway, we're doing the SEC over and unders here this evening on the show.
I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to come in hot and like an asshole tonight. How you doing this evening, Rob? You doing good?
Sir. Yeah, I'm holding my own.
How's the weather down there today?
Hot and shitty.
A little cooler?
No.
No?
Just hot. It's hot. So
it's a little cooler up here. I don't know what. I forgot.
Y'all are closer to the mountains, right? So
yeah, but
might be better. I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, so SEC over and unders is what we're going to go over this evening. Appreciate you guys checking out the show.
Yeah.
Jackpot, of course, the people were telling me today on the rundown that they had gotten into the contest last night and all that, but Calloway's Pick'em Challenge is open. Link is in the description. Folks are starting to file in, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to rattle off my list of names again so far. If everybody indulge me for just a moment, I'll try to get through these as quick as I can, but I want to make sure that everybody who's in the contest has an opportunity so far to hear their name called. So if there's any questions, and if there's anybody who thinks that they sent me their money that doesn't hear their name called, well, then you can, check with me on that. We'll see what's going on. So let me rattle these off real quick. Now, a lot of these are repeats from last week. I did this last Wednesday. And now these are the ones I've gotten one since then. So I'm going to read everybody who's in here, okay? These I got. These are PayPal's. Well, Kale, Rob. We have Cock the Hammer, Quentin Broom, Hoghead, Big Barney Ross, Undercover Boss, Stephen Superior, Tiger in the Burrow, Todd, Nikki 2013, Jeremy 717, Billy Cole 711 Orange, BC 1997, and Mike Bridges. These are Venmos. Ray Bob Jr., Dr. Bart, Jacob Roletter, Michael Gentry, Scott Gentry, Kenneth Gallman, Cheryl Watson, Larry Centerfit, and Carrie. These are cash apps. Baylor Man, Bulldog JC, Troy Moses, Sancho, Ethan Hewlett, and Rooster Man. Now, these are PayPal's. And, of course, these are the ones I've gotten since then. Hoko Heavy, 59, Football Guru, Bob Rutherford, Cephas Wicker, High Five, Tyler Lewis, Driller Deep, Bertonius, Venmos, Daniel Gregory. Daniel Gregory was actually the first person to enter the contest. It kind of got mixed up, and there was some stuff with my son back and forth. But anyway, Daniel Gregory, Jackpot Jr., JBW 2868, Paul's Picks, Spank Mapleton. It's tremendous. Little Jerry Seinfeld, Josh Harmon, The Biscuit, Dabo Rubs My Rock, Beth Webb, and Sellers Rec Specs. And then we have the cash apps. Will Eubanks, Jordan Dealmaker, Tennessee Boy, Elijah Allen, John 32 SC, Harry Legg, and then Sir Comrade, who also wanted to let me know that he picks winners. And I believe that. So that's who we've gotten in the contest so far. If you plan on sending your money over, you do this thing, PayPal or Venmo, it gives you the option of doing it as like a goods and services thing. Please send it as the friends and family option so that we get the entire $20 fee. I got to tell people again, I mean, I'm just going to eat it. I mean, but I've probably gotten about 12 or 13 of them that I got shorted on the entry fee because people are sending it as goods and services, not friends and family. I mean, I can just eat it, but I really rather you send it the right way. So anyway, I just got another Venmo in too. Rob will be sending an email out here in the next couple of days to everybody who's been in the contest in the past to try to jog some memories of folks. Are we going to do that again, Rob?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that way, because we're up right now. We're up about 60-something people, I think. What was it? It was 57. Yeah, we're at like 59 people in there so far. That's not terrible. So, pretty excited. I mean, we still got 11 days, not 11 days, 9 days or so, 10 days till college football starts.
Yeah, there you go.
So.
It'd be cool. Looking forward to it, Jackpot. Those week 0 games. There you go.
Mike Bridges, you did send a PayPal and you did send it as goods and services. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Nope, you're good. Don't worry about it, sir.
Yeah, look at
that thing I mean, I think it probably just defaults to that or whatever. So it's not really a big deal. I'm not being an ass about it to people either. It's just when I see a round number, it's like I can tell how many's in there. But then when I look at my ballots, I see some cents and stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
Christopher says he sent it, Jackpot. Thanks to a glitch, you got an extra 20 as a tip. They're tipping Jackpot $20. That's
tip.
funny. Lawnmower Man wants to know: are you taking cash? Look, it's hard to keep all this stuff. So got to figure that out, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
If you get somebody else, if you don't have Venmo or whatever, get somebody else to send it. Just give them the money and just get them to send it and put your name on it if you want to.
All right, so there you go.
We don't take cucumber rolls. I don't take it from the store. I don't take any sweaty bra money. None of that shit.
Yeah, we don't take cocaine either. I was listening to
Speak
the
for
reason I said
yourself.
I was listening to I was listening to some podcast today that Adam Sandler did, and he was talking about how he worked at comedy clubs when he was 17, where they would pay you with cash or cocaine. You want cash or coke for doing your stand-up set. Of course, this is in the 80s, but still kind of funny. All right, anyway. All right, so we're doing over and unders on teams in the SEC, right, Jackpot?
That's right.
All right, so which team do you want to start with first, sir?
Well, why don't we go in alphabetical order? That probably makes most sense.
Okay, so Alabama Crimson Tide would be first. Let's see here. Do you want me to read their schedule, or do you want to just go?
No, I'm just looking at this. So they're over under right now. I've got these from over at FanDuel Sports. So hopefully you're following along with me there. Their over under is set at 9.5 right now. Do you have to know? And I don't know. Let's see. What's their lean on that deal? Because I know what the lean on some of these teams is, but
Hold on,
Alabama's 9.5, and it looks like right now they the over is they have a slight lean to the over at plus 116. The under is a lean to the under at minus 142. And I'm just looking at them, and I think there's a lot being made of the new head coach DeBoer, and I think that a lot of people just aren't sold on him. There, I mean, this man's. I mean, he just competed for a national championship with a team that's got a hell of a lot less talent than Alabama does. But when I look at their schedule, I mean, obviously they got the extremely tough home game with Georgia, but it's a home game, so that's going to help out. I mean, I look at the schedule and I don't know, man. I don't know that I see two more losses on here. I think they probably dropped the game to Georgia, and could they lose at LSU? Yeah, could lose at Tennessee. I mean, if they drop both those, and then Georgia, there you go. I mean, what about this game at Wisconsin? How tricky do you think that is? How back do you think Wisconsin is? I look at Wisconsin's schedule. They play 2 tomato cans before they take on Alabama. So,
I'm in the camp of, and maybe I'm just a little bit different than you do, but Alabama is Alabama. DeBoer, I think, is a good coach. The guy's won every fucking where he's gone.
mm-hmm.
I think that he can lean on Saban. Saban's still somewhat there, I guess. I don't know. But I look at Alabama's roster, and it still looks great. I mean, me personally, I'm taking the over 9.5.
Yeah, I think that's the safe bet as well. Like this road game at Tennessee is like, and all hatred aside, I'm not going to let my hatred for any particular teams cloud a smart pick here. I mean that's a game they could lose. I would think the game at Tennessee. I think they stand a better chance of losing that than they do losing at Wisconsin. I don't see that. I don't think Wisconsin is. I mean, I think Wisconsin's a tier below, like Penn State, in the Big Ten. Teams of that ilk. I think at one time they were, right below the contenders. But give me the over though for Alabama in that.
All right, so we both like Alabama with the over. Do you want me to keep track of these for the bookcase of accountability?
I would like to put that on the bookcase of accountability and see where we stand at the end of the season.
All right, hold on. Let me see. bring this up right quick. So Bama, both over 9.5. All right, Arkansas's next jackpot. They're at 4.5.
Hold on, so Papa B says, I heard it's a mess at Bama. Saban practice in the evenings. New guy likes mornings. I mean, why would that make a difference? I mean, why would that turn things into a mess? I don't get it.
College kids don't like getting up in the morning.
Well, I mean, that's true. Okay. Well, I guess I was wondering. I wasn't thinking about that. What time in the morning?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're listening in the morning or whatever, you know.
All right, give us some Washington Razorbacks.
So when I look at their schedule, jackpot as preseason top 25, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games against teams that are ranked in the preseason top 25.
Okay, and what is their over and under, sir?
4.5.
4.5.
Yep.
Yeah, I looked at this one and I think Sam Pittman, he's on this huge hot seat, but I mean, these people, I mean, I don't know. A lot gets made of stuff in a hurry. And I mean, shit. I mean, it was 2022. They ended up the season with a winning record after they won a bowl game. They were 7-6. He won 9 games in 2021. I mean, how quickly people fall out of favor. And if you look at him last year, I mean, they did get blown out in 2 games. They got blown out by Mizzou. I think they just ran into a buzzsaw there, and they, I think, had partially given up on the season by that time. And then they did get blown out by Auburn, got outgained by 262 yards. But then you look at them, I mean, they won in overtime at the Swamp. Not an easy place to win, especially for a very mediocre team. I mean, they were within 3 points of LSU. They were within a touchdown of Ole Miss, or within 3 points of Alabama. I mean, it's very, very Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, they were pretty close. I mean, to be in, I don't know. Did those teams just play down to their level? So I don't know. I think he's getting a lot of heat with this Bobby Petrino experiment. I don't know how that's going to work out. And I don't. For one, I do not think that he's the coach in waiting. I mean, if that's what they're planning on doing there, that's just dumber than. That's just a boneheaded move. This guy, I mean, Bobby Petrino just destroyed that program at Louisville. I mean, when he was fired in 2018, I mean, that team, I mean, they went out and lost to Clemson like 77-6, and then they got blown out by someone else. Awful. I mean, and that's just and coming off of Lamar Jackson. I mean, I don't go on a tangent here, but did Bobby Petrino bring Lamar Jackson to Louisville, or did who was the coach there before him? Was it Charlie? Charlie?
It was, yeah.
Who brought in Lamar? Because he did.
Petrino. I don't know.
I mean. Yeah, just looking at them though, I mean, if I just throw my, my love and admiration here for Sam Pittman out the window, because I like the guy. He's a likable guy, it seems like. I think they win against Arkansas, Pine Bluff, UAB, and Louisiana Tech. Then after that, I mean. The road game at Mississippi State, maybe they win that. I don't know. That probably be a close one. Other than that, I'm looking at the rest of these games. I don't. Louisiana. If they win, they're going to have to upset somebody,
right?
I mean, dude. I kind of think I want to lean with the over, because I kind of think they're going to. I think those wins. I think they're going to get those 4, and I think they're going to upset somebody. Like I think they could win at Auburn. I think they could upset Texas A&M. I don't think they're beating LSU or Ole Miss at home, or Texas. I don't think they're winning at Oklahoma State either. Do you? I mean that doesn't seem like a winnable game.
I'm going. I mean, you're taking the over. I'm taking the under. I think they beat Pine Bluff, UAB, Louisiana Tech, and if they get a conference win, it'll be at Mississippi State because Mississippi State is starting over, basically.
But that's a road game too. I mean, and just
I'm just saying, if they get a conference game, then that'll be the one because they're not beating Oak State. The problem that I have though is that game is October the 26th, and most of the team might have quit by then because Pittman may have been fired. So. The
other thing, I think they're going to be. I mean, I think he's coaching for his job this year.
Right.
I've heard really good things about this new quarterback they got too. The kid they brought from Boise State. Give me the over. Give me the over on Arkansas.
I'm taking the over, and then I'm going with. You know what? I
don't doubt that they. I mean, they could. I mean. Let me piss off the chat people here. They could knock off Tennessee at home. It's not undoable.
Yep.
Could knock off LSU at home. I don't think they're upsetting Texas at home. I think that's pretty much, not manageable at all. But the others, yeah, they could.
All right, so up next is Auburn. Auburn is at 7.5.
So tough, man. It's so tough with this one.
It is hard with that because when I look at the Auburn schedule today, and I think I'm taking the over jackpot just because I don't think they lose the first 4 games of the season right off the rip. Alabama A&M, Cal is terrible. New Mexico is, non-con.
I'm not understanding where we're talking about Cal is terrible. Cal went to a bowl game last year. They've got a running back that ran for like 1,300 yards last year. He's going to be like the second leading returning rusher in the ACC.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that they beat Auburn. So 4-0 start is definitely possible, but like these, I don't know that they win a road game in the SEC.
Their road schedule is
Georgia, Mizzou, Kentucky, and Alabama.
They may use all 4 of those.
So a 4-0 start. 5, 6. A lot of this is going to hinge on this Oklahoma game at home. That's why I took the under on them because I don't think they're at home. I think they're either losing to Oklahoma or Texas A&M. One or the other they lose to. I don't think they're winning on the road in the SEC. At Mizzou and then at Kentucky back-to-back weeks. So.
All right, so I'm taking the over. Rob over. Jackpot is under. Under the 7.5. All right, the next team here is that would be the next team. Oh, here we go. The Florida Gators jackpot. Florida is at 4.5 wins. So there's talk that they may have the toughest schedule in the SEC. We've looked at it before, but just to refresh some folks here, their schedule includes number 19 Miami, number 20 Texas A&M, 15th ranked Tennessee, a home game with Kentucky, number 1 Georgia, number 4 Texas, number 13 LSU, number 6 Ole Miss, number 10 Florida State. Oh, and they also have UCF. Which way you rolling there with the Gators, jackpot?
I like the over on Florida. Look, I like Graham Mertz, and then I found out that running back he's not out for the season. He's going to be okay. Johnson fella.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance if everything goes right. You could be they could start out 5-0. They really could. You got Miami, Samford, A&M at home. All those are winnable. At Mississippi State, that's winnable. And then UCF, that's a winnable game. Those are all losable games too. They could start 5-0. If things go sideways, they could start out 1-4.
Right.
Because on the road at Mississippi State is tricky because, with a team like Mississippi State, they're not expecting to make a whole lot of noise this year. But teams like that, they kind of tend to get up for a game that they think they've, got a shot in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Figure out if their new coach has got some gumption to them,
He's a good. Levy is a good offensive mind. They just don't have the personnel yet.
So you like the over? I'm looking at it from the perspective of when I look at the first game of the season. Right, everybody and their brother seems to love Miami, but Miami is only a 2.5-point favorite in that game.
Yeah,
so that tells me that Las Vegas knows something, or there's something that's there. Is it that Miami sucks? Maybe. Are we just looking at Florida and we're thinking we've heard so many shitty things about Napier? And
yeah, but the love for Miami, yeah, I get it. I get it. They brought in some talent, Mario, big chest. He eats steel and bends bars, and I've heard this about them it's like they're like Texas A&M. Every year these same teams get pumped up until they do something. I don't believe it.
Yep.
And winning in the swamp is not easy, and I don't think they do it. I think Florida beats them there. And not saying Florida's some juggernaut, but it seems like Billy Napier, since he's been there the past 2 years, it seems like he kind of wins a game at home that he shouldn't, maybe. Maybe this is it.
Last year? Yeah. So
no, I wouldn't even put this in the category of this is one he shouldn't. I put this as a toss-up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just look at I try to look at their roster just blindly with how many guys are there as far as 4 and 5 star guys. Okay. And when I think about that, and then just from what I see, do they have more 4 or 5 star guys than Miami? Not quite, but they're almost on par. Mm-hmm. They're better than Stanford. Texas A&M had a complete coaching change. I'm not saying they're going to beat them, but in their first 6 games, I think 5 of them are winnable. Like they should be completely with it. So I'm going to take the over here. And I don't know if they'll go to a bowl or not, but I'm comfortable with 5 wins. So I got the over. Jackpot's got the over too. Now let's make sure we put it out there. I don't think that Jackpot thinks they're going to win, a shit ton, but I think 4.5 is just kind of low with the talent level.
I could see them honestly. I could see them starting out 5-0 and then dropping their next 7.
After you need some water, yeah. Yeah, so there you go with that. So we both like Florida.
Now, if they are able to win their first 5, if they're good enough to do that, I think somewhere in that next 7 they're going to find one.
Yeah,
it could be on the road at Florida State. I really am just not that high on that team this year. I'm just not.
Well, we shall see.
The ukulele,
I'm just laughing at Florida State fans on Twitter right now. We're building a dynasty. Your coach is a fucking used car salesman. Shut up. All right. Thank you, son. So then next we've got the Georgia Bulldogs. They're at 10.5 wins jackpot. And let's see here. It's minus 122 for the over. Plus 100 for under 10.5. The Bulldogs, of course, start with Clemson to open the season. Their schedule is yes, they at Clemson. They also play at Alabama and at Texas, as well as at number 6 Ole Miss. Which way you rolling there, Jackpot?
I'm going to take the over on them. I think they dropped one regular season game. I think I kind of think it's going to be this game at Texas. Ole Miss. I don't know. I don't know that Ole Miss is deep enough to beat Georgia. I think Texas may be. Their roster may be just top to bottom. I'm not talking about, the starting 11 for Ole Miss may be more talented than what Texas. But, if we take the entire roster into account, I think Texas is probably a little more talented than Ole Miss. Florida beat Ole Miss like a drum last year. Have they added enough pieces to ensure that doesn't happen again? I mean, I don't know that they have.
Yeah.
And then with Texas, I mean, that's kind of a little bit of a case of with Georgia, you don't really know what you're going to get. I haven't faced off in quite a while. Obviously, totally different roster since I played a few years ago. So I'm on the over, man.
You got an 11?
Going undefeated is going to be tough, very tough. I mean, I think it's doable. I still think they drop a game. So let me have the over there on the Georgia Bulldogs.
So it's kind of interesting to me because, the first 4 games are Clemson, Tennessee Tech, at Kentucky, and at Alabama. But they get 2 weeks off between Kentucky and Alabama to, it's a good time to have a bye week. They follow that with home games against Auburn and Mississippi State, which I think they should easily win. Going to Texas, then they get 2 weeks for the Florida game. And then back-to-back with on the road at Ole Miss and Tennessee at home. I think Georgia's just talented. I really do. And you know what? They've lost 2 games in 4 years. Harry Lake told me that today on the program. Still got Carson Beck. Still got they've got ETN now. The offensive line is still good.
They haven't lost a home game, and God, who's the last team to beat them at home?
I think it was South Carolina. I'm not joking. I think it was
really. Oh, okay.
Cool. If somebody correct me on that, I'm not just touting the Gamecocks here. I think last win in Athens.
I was baiting you into that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
I was dropping corn down, little kernels of corn, and you were just gobbling them up.
I'm a dumbass. Come on now. But anyway, no, I mean, I think 11 wins is right where they are. So I have to take the over here. So
I wouldn't be shocked to see them drop a couple of those road games. I mean, it wouldn't, it wouldn't send chills up my spine if that happened. Yeah. But I could definitely see it.
All right, next team is, as I move my mouse to work correctly here,
Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, the next team is the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky is at 6.5 jackpot. Kentucky's, this is a tough one too, We're talking about tough ones to go with. I mean, that's a tough one in my opinion. The schedule for Kentucky, normally they play that MAC schedule at the beginning of the season, but they're opening up with Southern by God Miss, and then your Gamecocks and Georgia, then Ohio, followed by Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Florida on the road, Auburn at home, Tennessee on the road, Murray State, Then Texas and the Ville. 6.5 jackpot. I'm gonna take the under. I really, really am. I'm not. What Vandergrift, their quarterback. They're talking about how he's the greatest ever, and that's what they're hoping anyway. I think that Kentucky's going to try to win games ugly again this year, run the ball, control the clock, etc. And I think they'll do well against some teams, but I think they're going to be outmatched I think they'll be outmatched in the Georgia game, the Ole Miss game, and the Texas game. And then they don't win at Tennessee, even if they're a better team. They've taken better teams at Tennessee and lost. So I think that's 4 losses off the rip. So I'm going to take the under. So I think they win 6 games.
I'm solidly on the over here with them. I mean, I've got Southern Miss, South Carolina, Ohio, Vanderbilt. I think they beat Auburn. I think they beat Murray State, and then I think they beat Louisville. Till Louisville, does something against them. That's 7 there. You got to pick up another one, and I've already been on the record in my.
Did they?
What?
I don't think they beat Louisville last year.
No, they beat Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
They upset them on the road. Yeah. Yeah, because don't you remember? I was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was late. I remember that.
Yeah, well,
you said you're cussing because I think you bet on the Ville, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I bet on Kentucky, and I won money. I won on the money line. I was making fun of Louisville, and that bitch-ass quarterback and all those players just ran off the damn field. Didn't even bother to shake the Kentucky players' hands. I was like, what a bitch-ass move that was. What a shithead.
They've won 5 straight. A big Barney Ross will be cussing me later for that. They won 5 straight against the Ville. So
no, I hope they win another 5 because they suck. I don't like them. I don't like them. I mean, I really don't. It seems like everybody they play, and this goes back before Brom got there. It seems like they're chippy, and they get into it with everybody that they're playing. And they seem like they talk a lot of shit, but they really don't back it up too much. But I'm solidly on the over with them, and I've already been on record, and I did my preview season pick and prediction videos for both teams. I'm telling you, they're knocking off Tennessee and Knoxville.
Okay. I mean, we can debate back and forth.
Just because it doesn't happen very often doesn't mean it can't.
Okay. Well,
that's not right on Tennessee. I'm not knocking Tennessee. I'm not making fun of it. I'm just eventually these things have a way of working themselves out. And the better team doesn't always win. Just look at the way the schedule's lined up, and it's very possible.
In 2020, and then so they have 1, 2, 3.
Navy guy says it doesn't even come close to happening. Sir, it came close to happening last year.
So they have. I'm just saying.
Devin Leary had as much of a disappointment as Devin Leary was at QB last year for Kentucky. He had his best game against Tennessee at home.
So, I was born in 1979. Okay. Kentucky has 5 total wins over Tennessee in that time period. So in my existence, they have 5 wins.
Okay, so that's 45 years ago. So that means they win 1 roughly every 9 years.
Yep. Well,
has it been 9 years since they won their last one?
They won in 2020, so they're still due to lose another 6 more.
Shit.
If they're going to stay on average. No, I'm just saying that like I have the same thing with Kentucky as I do with Tennessee playing at Florida. They just
that's crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right here. 5 wins since in my existence. Now, you're a couple of years older than I am, right? What year were you born?
1975.
So they have 2 more wins. So 7 in your existence, sir. 7 in your entire existence.
Navy guy says, tell us the scores of the last 5 non-COVID Tennessee. Okay, we played football. We played football in the COVID year, so it counted. Sorry.
Yeah, we did play football in the COVID year, so I'm just saying you don't have to rub their nose in it so much. Are you threatened by Kentucky? Did they fuck your girlfriend and wipe the dick on the curtains? What's going on here? You beat the shit out of them all the time. I'm giving you the utmost props. You don't have to talk about, oh, well, they only beat us in a COVID year. Get the fuck out of here. Stop it. They're terrified of
COVID year too. Does it not count either?
So in the 5 games that
we didn't have a coach when we lost to Kentucky 41-18 in the COVID year, and I remember that was actually the day Shane Beamer got hired.
All right, so look, in the 5 wins that they have in my lifetime,
mad, dude. I got mad.
I know you did get mad.
I got mad when I found out they hired him. I was like, you motherfuckers. Because I wanted that Coastal Carolina coach. And I was like, what the hell have y'all done?
Well, he has to go to Liberty to find Jesus. So that's what happened with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3 of the 5 wins in my existence were in Knoxville. So, yeah, something like that. Anyway. All right. So there you go. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen. But there you go. Jackpot's got him on the over, though, and that's fine. Next team on the list is LSU.
Let's do LSU, and then let's do LSU, and let's do Mississippi State, Rob, and then how about we cut it off and do the other ones on Sunday's show?
Sure.
Because this is taking a while. It's 9:40 already, man. Time flies when you're having fun.
Calls. I know we're going to take some calls too. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Over 9.5 wins, Jackpot. Which way you rolling there with the tie?
I'm on the under for 9.5. That seems like a little bit too much for a team that, I mean, their defense last year was terrible. Yep, went out and hired a really good defensive coordinator in Blake Baker, who is the top paid coordinator in college football. It was Garrett Riley last year, I think, but Blake Baker's taken over as top paid coordinator. So they're going to be improved. How much? Don't know. I mean, what's the transition from Nussmeier to Daniels going to be? Don't know. Receivers, don't know. Running game, I don't know. But I'm just looking at the schedule. It's tough. Most of your tougher games, though, do seem to be at home. But just looking at this, eyeballing this right now, sight unseen, I'm seeing, a lot of this hinges on that week 1 game of the USC game. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. I don't know that you beat Bama. I don't know that you beat Ole Miss at home. I mean, those are teams. Yeah. And I've also done my prediction video on them. I have them dropping the game to the Gamecocks. I'm on the under. I'm just going to go out there. I'm on the under on this team.
I'm not going to get bitten by Brian Kelly again. I'm taking the over. I think Kelly's a good coach, and I think that he just figures shit out. Their schedule, the way it lines up, they have Alabama on the schedule. They have A&M, but there are some layups there. I think they're going to beat the shit out of Southern Cal. Southern Cal, Nicholls, South Carolina, UCLA, South Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Vanderbilt. They should be.
Yeah, but USC. I mean, you're debuting this new improved defense. This is your first time out against USC on a neutral site in Vegas, baby, in Vegas. Crazy shit happens in Vegas. Are you not on the Miller Moss train?
No, I'm on the Brian Kelly's a good coach.
He threw 6 touchdown passes against Louisville.
Cool.
Give me Miller Moss. That's
All right.
that's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be like a basketball game, back and forth, back and forth.
We shall see. I'll still take the over. All right, final game we're going to do tonight. Final team. We'll wrap these up on Sunday. Mississippi State jackpot. The over/under for the Bulldogs is 4.5.
Yeah, I looked at them and I worked on it, and tried to go over. But I see 3 wins here. Definitely the Eastern Kentucky, Toledo, and UMass. I say 3 wins there, and then in conference, your best chance is going to be. You got 3 chances here in conference. I mean, 4 really. I mean, all these conference home games, any one of them is winnable. And if you beat Arkansas, I don't know if that's an upset. But it all hinges on this road game at Arizona State in week 2, and I don't think Arizona State's going to be any kind of world beater. Obviously, they won like 3 games last year, but I do think they're going to be improved. They're in their 2nd year under their new head coach. I think that's a tough. I think you drop that game. I hate it, but your roster, you don't have a lot of depth. I don't think they have the players to run. I don't think they have the players. They really didn't do real well in the transfer portal. I don't think they really this year have the players to run the system Jeff Lebby wants to run. So I'm gonna take the under on them, man. I think they go like 4-8.
Yeah, the thing with Lebby is that he's going to maybe put some life in that offense, but you can have a great offensive mind, but if you don't have the Joes to do the job, it doesn't matter.
That's the thing. I mean, I think they'll get there. I think it's going to be a dangerous team in a couple of years.
Yeah, but as of right now, it's just kind of not. So
well, yeah, obviously that's what we're talking about.
But anyway, I'm going to take them for the under the 4.5. So I looked at their roster, and they have the only 2 rosters that they're right there with Arkansas, but I think the only roster that's beneath them is Vanderbilt, and that's because of the transfers and all of that stuff with them. So I'm going to take the under.
It's not the Gamecocks.
No, it's not.
Even with the quarterback who was behind Spencer Rattler last year and without proven receivers, so it's not the Gamecocks.
Do you really want to do this because we can?
No.
Okay. I mean, I didn't
know
because
I don't feel like taking you to school this early in the program.
Well, and that's fine, but the program's late. But I mean, if you really want to go there, we can argue.
The night is still young,
and you can go with fantasy.
No.
I'll bring facts to the argument. You can bring fantasy. We think they're going to do this.
Well,
I'm going to go with what they have done.
Well,
I want to go down that road.
Well, you got people out there who think that Oklahoma might win 10 games this year. Oklahoma's got a new starting quarterback. I mean, shit goes in cycles. I mean, you replace somebody. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go there. We have no identity. We're terrible.
You don't. What is your identity?
On what? Well, because that changed. We got they had a brand new offensive coordinator last year. He walked into a tough situation. Marcus Satterfield was horrible. I mean, so he had to totally redo and get everyone bought into his system. Now he's going to hitch his wagon to a quarterback whose skill set is totally different than what he had previously. So I mean, they have to tailor their system around who their quarterback is, the milkman, if you will. So
Okay.
What on defense? I mean, we talk about an identity on defense. What's an identity on defense? I mean, your defense is supposed to stop the fucking run. I mean, go out there and lock up some damn receivers, maybe intercept one every now and then, generate some kind of pass rush. Your linebackers better tackle well. I mean, I think the defensive identity or what we expect from a defense is pretty much the same with every team. It's just some are able to execute it at a higher level than others. Some not at all.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at where is it? Oh, this is being silly.
Frothy Tavern says I'm using emotion and logic. What the fuck am I? What the fuck am I talking about? What are we using emotion for? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I just explained what a defense is supposed to fucking do. How's that using emotion? Please, I'd love to know.
I don't think you were emotional with that, and I don't think that. What I mean by having an offensive or defensive identity is that
Lawnmower Man says the Gamecocks suck every year. This one ain't no different. Okay, well, it must be embarrassing to lose to a team like that at home and have them snap your home winning streak. That must suck. Must be embarrassing as hell right there. 31-30. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's cool. I'm in the camp that South Carolina doesn't have an identity, and until they get one, I just don't think it's going to work. I really don't. So
no, I don't know. They interviewed Juju McDowell yesterday after practice, and they asked him what to expect from the offense, and he said, "Popcorn, get it ready."
Yeah, last time somebody said that, how'd that work out for him?
Well, it doesn't matter. He's not white, and he's not the head coach of a team.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything, Jack?
They love to throw this back up to me when I make fun of beating them one in a decade. Okay, well, I mean, so what? The most recent one, we won, and you are winless against Shane Beamer in Death Valley. How does that make you feel?
Look. That was an embarrassing loss for Clemson, but I stand by what I said. You do not have a true identity, and it seems like you have to change what you are every single season, and it's past the point of an evolution. You don't have a good foundation to build on.
Wake Forest fan says Gamecocks suck. Sir, you ain't beat Clemson in 40 damn years. I don't think they beat Clemson the entire time I've fucking been alive. I remember going to the first Clemson game I ever went to in Death Valley. I went with my grandparents when I was 6. And Clemson beat Wake Forest that year. They won the national championship. That was the game that I went to with my grandparents. They beat them something like fucking 82-20. They scored 82 on them. Freaking Wake Forest. Get the fuck out of here. What's that?
What's your dog?
Yes.
He's mad.
That did happen, though. They gave up 82 points to Clemson.
What year was that? That was in 80?
1981?
Looking.
No, seriously.
No, I mean, I'm looking for that game. I don't see it. Oh, yeah, they did. 1981, they won 82-24. Jesus, Jack, what?
The Wake Forest man had anything else to say about it.
Well, no, I mean, Wake Forest has had, I didn't know this, in 1982, Jackpot, they played in the Mirage Bowl.
Yeah, the Mirage Bowl in Tokyo.
In Tokyo, Japan.
You see those damn Clemson rednecks in Tokyo, especially in 1982. I mean, that had to be a damn sight to behold.
So I'm looking at
probably out there trying to throw their damn little $2 bills around like they do when they go on the road. And I heard that actually debuted during that national championship year of 1981 when they went to play a game at Tulane. Did you know that Clemson played at Tulane the national championship year in '81 in the Superdome?
Yep.
It was a weird score too. It was like 13-2 or something, I think.
I'll have to look that up. But in Clemson's 15-year run with Wake Forest, they have scored 51, 48, 37, 52, 63, 56, 42, 38, 30. They have one game where they were held under 27 points in the 15.
I'm just kidding with the Wake Forest, man. The Gamecocks do suck, but you suck worse. I hate to say it, you do just a little bit. And damn it, they almost beat you 2 years ago up there. I was so fucking mad. Damn it, I was mad.
Yeah,
y'all won Clemson won like in 2 overtimes.
Yeah,
yeah.
So South Carolina has a
wide receiver for Wake. I can't remember what his name was, but he's playing on Sundays now.
Dortch or whatever his name is. It Dortch?
No, Dortch was a white dude. This is a black dude. I can't remember what his name was. But he was tearing y'all's ass up. Somebody can put it down in the comment section. I can't remember what his name was. Anyway,
yeah, South Carolina has a 14-game advantage over Wake Forest overall, including
A.T. Perry. That there you go. Thank you, Randall.
They've won 15.
Randall's always checking in with the knowledge, man.
15 out of the last 16 against the Demon Deacons there for South Carolina, Jack.
Billy Cole with a little bit of a. This is a little bit of a outlandish comment here, and I usually agree with Billy. He says Philip Fulmer couldn't carry Heupel's jock strap. Really? Didn't Philip Fulmer win you a national championship?
No, they don't talk about that, man.
Let's pump the brakes.
Yeah, that's some silly shit there. I mean, God, Tennessee fans are really fucking funny with that. But
did you ever see that picture they made of me that time? One of them, some girl used to be in one of them Facebook groups, made it up on Snapchat. They put my face on the Phil Fulmer's body, standing on the sidelines with his orange polo and his khakis, and he has like sweat stains under both pits. And they put my face on there, and that said that Tennessee's got a new found a new head coach to replace Butch Jones. I think it was about here at that time. Shit.
Anyway, yeah. So, and getting back to the South Carolina stuff, if you want, I stand by what I said. They don't really have an identity, something that they can actually bank on.
I don't know. Maybe they'll find one.
What they could do, right? And this isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. I think that your identity should be, we are going to be the best special teams coach, best special teams in the country. We're going to win games like that, like Frank Beamer did. That's not a bullshit.
Yeah, but the thing about that is, it's not really you can't. That's not sustainable every year. The special teams relies a lot on luck.
But I mean, Beamer did it every year, and he was very good at Virginia Tech. If you have that to build on, that you're the best in the conference at special teams. I thought you were telling me to stop. I was like, God damn.
No. I'm yelling at Ziggy. He's growling at my little pug. I'm telling him to stop. Stop it.
I think that's something that you could build on. I really do. And that's not something that's harsh. It's really not.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying though. I mean, you can't replicate. You've got. There's a lot of luck involved there. You got to be in the right place on the field. And I mean, you can't try a trick play once every 2 games. I mean, it just. I don't know.
What if you become like you can convince? Tilly says, "Thanks for the super chat, Tilly."
Thank you.
Y'all need to hire the South Florida coach.
Thank you. Look, but no. I don't want any Tennessee people.
The number one, you could get the number one punter, the number one place kicker every year, and you're telling look, this is where you come to kick. We're going to have the best kicking and all that. and just build from that. At least that's something.
Yeah. Oh well, that we're talking about. Mitch Jeter transferred out, and that I think that was kind of a blow for Beamer. I don't think that one was expected, and they from what I understand, they're kind of struggling to replace him. I mean, not doing that great. But we got this new. Oh damn, sir! The Braves up 5-0 in the top of the first.
There you go.
Damn, laying it on thick. You might get a sweep, Rob. A sweep.
Shh, you're gonna ruin it. Shh, stop it. Anyway, so there's that. If you want to tell me what you think the identity is for South Carolina, I'll listen. I'll listen.
Well, I mean, I think you're on the right train of thought there with the special teams thing, and not a lot of people are talking about that. I mean, everybody's talking about Sean Elliott being back, new running backs coach, which I don't know about that cat. I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, I know around spring practice time. I mean, like he wasn't talking to the media. There's kind of some weird stuff going on there with him. I don't know if he just doesn't like talking to them or, like maybe he was flirting around with leaving. But, I mean, as far as I know, he's there at least for this year.
Well, I do think that's a very interesting with what you're saying there. But if I were going to look at South Carolina and talk about what they could be good at, get to the point where, look, we're going to have great special teams and we're going to be DBU. Look at all the DBs we've put in the NFL and go with that. We're going to be built on the back half of our defense and special teams. That is an identity that can work and can win you some games. You know what I'm saying? And if you get a good quarterback in there every now and then, and do a little bit better on the offense, at least you have something. Right now, it's like, what the fuck are they going to be? And that's the thing it's just tough for me to sit here and be like, expect so much out of South Carolina. Look, when they had Clowney and those guys, all right, I know what they're going to do. They're going to get after the passer, and it was a consistent thing. And, the other teams knew, hey, we're going to have to run away from Clowney because they're going to send Clowney and he's going to do things. And, and they were great with that. I was talking about Ellis Johnson today. The Ellis Johnson defenses, they ran a 3-3-5 and eat you up between the 20s, but you're kicking field goals. That's an identity. Right now, I don't know what you got. Really don't. So until you develop something, hard for me to buy in. Doesn't mean I think South Carolina sucks. Doesn't mean I don't think they have good players. I don't know what you have.
But getting back to the special teams thing, this special teams coach that he hired, this Joe DeCamillis dude, I mean, he's supposed to be the real deal. I mean, he's been a special teams guru in the NFL for fucking forever. And he was on Sark's staff last year at Texas.
Right.
I don't know. I hated to see Pete Limbo go, but I'm glad he got a head coaching position.
I do too, but I mean, that's something that South Carolina can do that could be great for them. Great. And keep games close and eke them out. Not necessarily eke them out, but get it to a point where that your strength and your foundation is we're going to be the best special teams team in the country. That's what we're going to do. And then go from there. At least you got something to build on. So
Randall says, what did South Carolina lose to the NFL last year? Xavier Legette, Spencer Rattler, Marcellus Dial.
Yeah.
Marcellus Dial, defensive back.
Didn't you lose the Harvard guy? Wasn't he the owner of the offensive
line?
Yale. Sorry.
I can't believe he made he's on an NFL roster. I don't know that he's going to make
cut it yet. Whatever his name is, I remember his
name. Nick Gargiulo.
Gargiulo, that's right. He hasn't been cut yet. So
keep him going there, sir. I got to take care of something real quick.
Anyway,
we haven't had a caller tonight.
I know. Let's get your put the thing out if you guys want to call in. You want to talk about South Carolina's identity? I think there's an identity crisis. South Carolina doesn't know what they are. Navy guy says, how are they going to be the best special teams in America if we're already doing that? I said, sir, that's what they can aspire to be. That's what I'm trying to put out there. All right, there you go. If you'd like to join the program, have at it. What's going on with the Clemson fans over there? I don't even know. I'm reading. The comments are running too quickly there. So, Christopher Adam wants to go with where Jackpot's going. All right. Rooster, welcome to the program.
What's up, Rob?
Rooster, am I wrong to say South Carolina doesn't have an identity?
I think South Carolina has an idea of what they want their identity to be, and if you listen,
You think they have an idea, but I don't know what it is.
if you listen to the players in their interviews, one of them let it slip. South Carolina is going to be a running football team this year.
Yeah,
This year,
You
that's
got
gonna
right.
be the idea. Okay.
You got even Robbie Ashford talked about it. You got Rocket Sanders. You got a stable of running backs, and you got two big quarterbacks. So be aware of run pass options and zone reads with those guys. You're going to see Arkansas 2022.
God, this is the bookcase of accountability here.
listen, Robbie Ashford is a very well-spoken young man.
And kind of what I think, Jackpot, what I took from what he said yesterday. Remember this Tennessee game everybody talks about, but do you remember how much DeCarrion Joyner was involved in that game at quarterback? I think that's what we're kind of going to see out of Rob. Even Rattler caught that one pass. So I kind of think you're going to see some wildcat out of Robbie and probably some play action off of wildcat, and then he's going to run the football. Now, Rob's talking about our defensive back room being an identity on our defense. It's not.
No, I didn't say they were. I'm saying that's what you could pitch. We are going to focus really hard on having the back half of our defense lead our defense, and we're going to ride that and special teams. That's what I said could be an identity for South Carolina. That's what they could have something to build on there. That's what I was going.
I think with this hockey defense they're talking about is a lot of rotation in their front four. So you got probably four really good pass rushers with Dylan Stewart, Gilbert Edmond. All them cats are going to switch in and out.
Kyle Kennard.
Yeah, you got Kyle Kennard in there. You got Des Hugh in there. You're going to see them guys kind of float in and out. And I kind of was curious on whether it was all four was going to shift out and they bring four in, but then they said, no, that's kind of not how it's working right now. But maybe that's what they're working on, trying to figure out who fits with what grouping best.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think it's our defensive line and the linebacker room. Of course, our safeties are good. It's going to be DQ and Nick starting. Kilgore being there to nickel. And I think as far as corners, you'll see, I think right now the leader in the clubhouse is Vicari Swain.
O'Donnell Fortune.
One of the starters.
And Fortune, yeah. I was thinking
Judge
Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, I think Fortune's already probably locked in to be a starter. I think the other question was whether Judge Collier or Vicari Swain was going to be the other corner, but I think Vicari's been
Where
talked
does
about
David
a lot.
Spalding fit in all this? He's an older player.
According to him and his where he talked today, he's been practicing everywhere. I think they've rotated him through cornerback, safety, because the question was asked about backup guys at safety who was going to be behind DQ and Nick. And he pretty much said it's going to be kind of like they've had Gerald Kilgore, him, a couple other guys or whatever's rotated through that safety room too. So.
Yeah, of all the mess that we've made, it seems like we always seem to find a kicker, and they always seem to find defensive backs from out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think they had some DBs last year. The problem was I think most of them were really young. If you think about Collier coming in, you think about some of the guys that they kind of messed our defense up because you had DQ Smith and you had Nick trying to come up and play corner, and those guys are Nick Emenward is too big to be a corner. He's 6'3". You can't put a 6'3" safety on the opposite team's best wide receiver. You're going to get cooked. We saw it against the Florida game. We saw it in the what game was it? Mississippi State that lit us up. Those guys aren't. Those smaller wide receivers are just.
Could he be a player that could be a tweener? You know,
Who's
Namore.
I think he's better at safety. I mean, he's put on some more weight this year, so he's 6'3".
Is he put on enough weight where they could walk him up like a linebacker?
Well, they did some of that last year because even DQ Smith came in on some blitzes.
I'm
when
just
they
saying
started doing that little hybrid thing. So
he's a big kid, right? I mean, put some muscle on him and let him go up and play some linebacker and help out the linebacking core a little bit. Makes a little bit of sense to me.
Yeah, I think depending on how Mo Kaba comes back at linebacker this year, I think the linebacker room's pretty deep. And they said that I guess Jackpot's favorite linebacker, J.R. Johnson, has been like the leader as far as the freshman linebackers. He's looked really good.
Yep.
Fred Johnson.
Lawnmower Man says Beamer looked nervous with the media, even his dumbass knows. I saw, sir, your coach is so. I don't even want to hear it. You got a coach so fucking dumb. I've seen rutabagas more intelligent. That son of a bitch.
Who is Navy Man a fan of?
Navy Man is a Tennessee man. Lawnmower Man is a Clemson man. Sling Blade, right? Obviously, I mean that kind of goes without saying. But yeah, I mean,
well, we'll see what Tennessee's made of when they hit NC State and then Oklahoma. I mean, I gave Tennessee some credit. I have them at going 10-2. I think Oklahoma is the team that is kind of a little overhyped because Jackson Arnold threw 3 interceptions in their scrimmage game.
Jackson,
and he didn't do very good in the bowl game.
Scrimmage of the year. I think that guy's going to be good.
Yeah, he will, but I mean, he struggled in the bowl game. He struggled because Oklahoma's their fans are a little shaky right now with him because he hadn't been that impressive.
From what I understand, he told people, I'm going to make you forget about Dylan Gabriel, gay being the operative word.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, but I'll let you guys take some more calls. I just wanted to let everybody know there is a new pregame show coming that'll be ahead of the Rob and Cale Wednesday night show, and it's the Ross and Rooster show. Me and Big Barney's going to put on a show on Wednesday starting at 7.
All right.
Look at you. You're going to call it the Ross and Rooster show. I like it.
Ross and Rooster.
That's us.
I like it.
We goof on Big Barney Ross sometimes with some of the stuff that we don't goof on. He calls and says some funny shit, but the guy knows his football.
Oh, yeah.
He knows his football.
But that's why we'll talk some SEC football and then probably have a little while we'll talk some national football.
That show's going to be – that gets my seal of approval. That's going to be really good.
But, yeah, I'll get out of here and listen to the rest of the show. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you, sir.
The Ross and Rooster show. I like it. Hey, Jackpot, I got one thing I want to throw at you before we leave here.
Okay.
I read earlier that Matt Stafford is hurt right now for the Charger or the Rams. I'm sorry. His backup is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
Jimmy Garoppolo has a 2-game suspension for the drug policy in the NFL. Stetson Bennett threw 4 interceptions the other day, but still managed to get the win against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that was who they played. Right now, Stetson Bennett may be your starting quarterback for the Rams at the start of the season.
Oh, shit.
That's kind of funny, right? I mean, it depends on how bad Stafford's hamstring is. They make it seem like it's really serious. And Garoppolo can't play in the preseason, supposedly, and is suspended for the first 2 games of the season. Stetson Bennett may be your starting quarterback there. And if he goes out there and puts on a shine, I'm not saying he can't, but this guy could go from champion to drunk to pro. What a hell of a story that kid has.
Who is that that's holding out for the Jets? Somebody's holding out right now.
Hold on. I read about that earlier, but
Running back.
yeah, is it there? Jets hold out. Reddick.
Yeah.
Reddick.
Hassan Reddick.
Reddick. Hold out. There's always a solution. They request a trade amid contract holdout.
Yeah, where we go to up in the Poconos, I mean, it's crazy. You can go like to Walmart or somewhere of that ilk and see like pro football and pro baseball stuff. You see tons of Yankees shit and Phillies shit, but there's no Mets shit. You see tons of Eagles shit and Giants shit, but there's no Jet shit. And there's no Knicks shit or Nets shit. I mean, there's no basketball shit. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And you see there's a bunch of Flyers shit. Why would they shit on the New York Jets? I mean, do they not have a as big of a fan base? I mean, seriously, I guess they don't. Like the Giants?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jackpot's a very good question, sir. I'd have to research.
I mean, they
that.
play in the same damn stadium, for Christ's sake. I mean,
didn't the Jets originally start out in Jersey, though?
Well, I mean, both of them actually play in Jersey. The stadium is in New Jersey.
Right.
Well, the Jets have a decade of dicking from my Patriots, too, so maybe that's influenced it.
Everybody took a decade of dicking from them, like two decades worth.
Didn't you trade your best fucking player today?
Today to the Atlanta Falcons for a third round.
So you should be quiet because you're probably going to eat some cock meat sandwiches this year, and you really should shut the fuck up.
I'm fine with that. We got $50 million in cap space, man. We're going to absolutely assault.
$50 million will help you next season, maybe the season after that. But for this season, your Patriots are 5-12.
You know what we're doing, Rob?
What?
We'll be all right. All right, we're building up.
What you're doing is you're paying pittance for all the fucking cheating that you did when Belichick was there. That's what you're doing.
We're building a foundation to run back the dynasty. Right? Everybody can see it. And you know what, Rob? Since we're talking about identities, what the fuck is Clemson's identity? Being absolutely mediocre on offense these days?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute.
On offense, Clemson's identity is very simple. They want to run the ball out of the shotgun. They want to get the ball to the slot receiver and get the ball to the tight end. That's what Clemson does.
Not effectively.
They're not doing it effectively, but they have something that they're trying to do. That's what they want to do.
Let me ask you this: if Maffa gets hurt, who's going to run the ball?
Keith Adams will be the guy that runs the ball, I believe.
Who?
Keith Adams is his name. Keith Adams Jr., I believe.
Okay. Rob, Clemson Tigers were 103rd in the nation for yards per play. That is your identity.
That's fine. The point is that you ask me what it is, and I can tell you. You can't tell me what the Gamecock identity is.
The Gamecock identity is storming our rivals.
Gamecock identity is sucking dick because that's what you've done for years and years.
It's transforming the cockpit, actually.
Rob, listen.
What?
At some point, you've got to realize Clemson's, they're average, man. You're still talking like you're living in the natty days.
I've never said that. I've never said that this is going to be a team that's like the 2018 team. But you know what? When we had the 2018 team, y'all were still running your dick suckers about, Clemson's not that good. I still have Gamecock fans. Hey, remember that 2018 team that, Debo Samuel went off in that game and they scored 35 points. You still lost by fucking 20.
All right, well, here's a challenge for you.
No. Hold on. I have to hear the same shit from Gamecock fans over and over and over again. This is going to be the year that Clemson goes down the shitter. Okay. You get tired of hearing it. Tired of hearing it. Clemson's a better program than South Carolina is. They have an identity. They have a championship coach. Okay? Something
Hey.
South Carolina doesn't have.
Can you do me one favor though, Rob?
Well,
Sure.
I mean, I think South Carolina's. I think this year, I think we win 6 to 7 games in spite of our head coach. Not maybe so much due to our head coach.
I mean,
in
can we
spite of
can we
him.
just be, look? Can we just be honest here? In the
I mean,
end,
y'all know. Have experience dealing with it. Hell, y'all been dealing with the damn dumbass since 2008.
that's won 2 national titles, jackpot. That has 10
Yeah. Thanks to them coordinators, ain't nothing he done.
Rob, I hold
Would
up, Rob.
you rather? Hold on. Let's just be real here. If we could wave a magic wand today, and you could have Jamie Chadwell or Shane Beamer, who would you want?
To do what?
Coach the fucking football team, jackpot.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
coach.
Chadwell would have much of.
Jamie Chadwell by far, by way far.
how Chadwell? Yeah, I got to thinking about it. He doesn't have any Power 5 experience, you know.
Mm-mm.
Oh dear God.
Hey, Rob, I've got a challenge for you as well. Name a single elite player that you faced in the ACC in all of your national championship wins, except for Lamar Jackson. Name one.
About the starting quarterback for the New York Giants.
Daniel Jones, notorious fucking trash can.
Is he a?
You're
is
flexing
he-
Daniel Jones and Duke.
That's the first one off my head. They played Daniel Jones and Duke. That's one. We can go down the line and look at others if you want. Cam Akers played for Florida State, bounced around the NFL forever, was considered one of the best running backs in the league. You want to keep going down this road? It's not going to work out well for you.
I think that was on the team y'all lost to, wasn't it?
The Akers team? No.
The
They didn't
Florida
lose.
State, with the 1 year they had when all 22 players. What year was that? They had all 22 players played in the NFL, or was that the 2013 team that bent you over?
Are you talking about the Jameis Winston team?
Akers they did bend you over.
Akers was on the 2018 team.
We're talking about the same.
Willie Taggart. Oh goddamn! Come on.
We're talking about the same running back that barely got a foothold on the second starting job for running back for the Rams right now, right?
Okay. You're asking me he was an elite player.
I just disagree.
What are you talking about?
They didn't play any teams that had any stars. So South Carolina, when they played, that was the team that had some stars on it. Samuel.
Samuel was the best player.
Samuel's the goes without saying.
Yeah, Samuel was a great player.
If Keel Pollard hadn't quit football, he could have shattered all kind of records.
Keel Pollard.
God damn it.
But
go ahead and laugh. He hauled in like a 70-yard touchdown against you fuckers.
Well, that proves my point, Rob. I mean, you look at the competition you played, it was below average. You look week to week at the South Carolina schedules at the time, you can find a better player than anybody, apart from Lamar Jackson, anybody.
I've got teams here for you. A.J. Dillon was a great player, considered a great running back. Played in the NFL. Hold on, I'm giving you players, sir. Are you gonna let me give you players or not? Or you just want to just keep doing what you got to do there?
Gotta add context though, Rob. He's a backup. He's been a backup every year he's been in the NFL. They just traded for Josh.
He started for my Packers, sir.
They just got Josh Jacobs because he's a trash can.
He started in the NFL is the not for long league, man. Nobody stays in that shit for long. What are you talking about?
Aaron Jones started.
Cool.
So what are we even talking about? Aaron Jones started every year he was
I'm saying that he is a guy that made plays, that played in the NFL, and I think that makes him a good player.
All right, let's go.
You don't get to the NFL unless you're a shitter.
Let's go one for one then. Todd Gurley. I'll give you A.J. Dillon. Todd Gurley.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you want from me on that front?
Sony Michel.
What are you trying to do here?
Nick Chubb. That's just one team we play here.
Cool.
Taylor Made says UK might have played the worst quarterback I've ever seen play versus South Carolina last year. Close, but the quarterback they played in the 2022 game against South Carolina was worse than Devin Leary. Remember the backup quarterback for Kentucky that started that game against Gamecocks in Lexington? I don't know what his name was, but I think he quit football.
Well, and that reminds me, you know who I think is going to actually be surprisingly good this year?
Kentucky.
Talking about. I think Malik Murphy at Duke starts turning some heads this year. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, he'll get some playing time for sure.
Oh, he should be the starter. He was excellent at Texas, man. The only reason he left is because Arch Manning came. He was
looking here. I
know he played, but I know he started a game or two because.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's a bum. Okay, just want to make sure that we're all on the same page there. Dalvin Cook's a bum.
Year span, where all he
Dalvin
was.
Cook punched a woman in the face. I don't have any respect for him.
I mean, he had issues off the field, sir, but he could play.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about him punching a woman in the face.
He did.
I thought, was it? No, okay. I was thinking Adrian Peterson beat his kid really bad, right?
Yeah,
Harold Landry was
yeah.
He was a good player for Boston College. I'm looking up and down there. I mean, I see good players, sir.
Yeah, but no. Elite is what I said.
Tyreek Hill beats his kids too.
Well,
I'll throw that out there.
How about this?
Piece of shit.
Would you agree? I mean, Clemson beat a team full of elite players in Alabama by 28 points.
I agree.
Would you also? They beat. Let's see here. They beat the Tua.
Who starved a puppy, Navy guy?
Harley, whatever the hell that other fucking quarterback is.
Would you also agree, though, it's an advantage to have essentially 12 bye weeks leading up to the national championship, though, Rob?
That's bullshit because you could have a shitty schedule and be in the SEC. Look at Mizzou. Mizzou's schedule is the shit. It depends on if you have to play other teams or not.
Listen, Rob, I would wager Mizzou's schedule this year is harder than any schedule y'all faced when y'all won the Natty.
I don't think so.
I think so personally. I mean, we could go down the list. Granted, I don't know who all you played, but I'm sure they were fucking shit.
Look, I'm not gonna sit here and let you tarnish the national champions that Clemson had. They won them, sir.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook did that. I'm not surprised. He pushed a woman in the face. That was a piece of shit.
I know you hurt your soul. So
no, Rob. We just got to add context behind it. Context is key, Rob. Context is key. It is a fact.
Context is key here, but I mean, hardware.
Context is king, according to Eric Bischoff.
Exactly, but hardware doesn't get argued with on the program.
It doesn't, but you also have to add the context those
I have hardware. I don't have to add shit. Hardware doesn't get questioned here.
HBC, would you or would you not agree?
Hardware doesn't get questioned here, sir.
Okay, but you can at least agree they were down years for the ACC.
Hardware, once again, you need to go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. You're not hearing what I'm saying to you. You obviously have an ear infection. We do not argue with hardware on this program.
I'm not saying anything about the hardware. I'm talking about the state.
All right. Shit.
What's up?
All right. I'm talking to Rob has SEC bias here. Clemson's national championship year of the 2018 year, in terms of the schedule. Let me see. So,
and not to mention,
they opened up with Furman. Then went on the road, 2-point win at Texas A&M.
Cool.
Who was ranked 16th. Came back home, 38-7 win against Georgia Southern.
Cool.
I remember that game. It was weird. It was like in the middle of September. It was like the wind was blowing really hard. I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah, there was a tropical storm or hurricane or something that was off the coast, and it was blowing everybody down there. And we were shocked they got that game in because I was on.
Well, Clemson was probably the one who was blowing everybody. The next game, Georgia Tech, terrible, 49-21, Clemson win. Syracuse, Clemson won 27-23 That was the one where I think Xavier Thomas showed out.
Was that
Syracuse is ranked number 15 in that game too, by the way.
Mhm.
Then they go on the road. They beat Wake Forest 63-3.
Right.
Yeah, but the Wake Forest man says South Carolina sucks. Then 41-7 win against NC State, who was terrible that year.
a terrible NC?
59-10 win at Florida State, who was terrible.
Terrible.
77-16 win over Louisville, who also was awful.
Terrible.
Yeah, 27-7 win over Boston College. That's a little closer. 35-6 win over the aforementioned Daniel Jones-led Duke team. And 56-35 win over South Carolina.
So
Sure.
how is that schedule better than Mizzou's schedule this year?
42-10 win over Pittsburgh in the ACC championship game. Cotton Bowl 30-3 over Notre Dame. That's playoffs. Impressive. And then 44-16 over Alabama. Yeah.
So,
Can't argue with that.
are we still arguing about the team that won the national title that butt fucked Nick Saban's team in a bowl game?
You had
We're still
12.
talking about that team shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
Team
how?
shit? Okay. Go ahead and just leave your stupidity out there. They beat a Nick Saban team by 28 fucking points.
How injured
I don't give a fuck.
was?
I don't give a fuck what it is. They won by fucking 4 touchdowns over Nick Saban's team. I expect better of you, Jackpot. I know that Rob has an SEC bias as a cum guzzler and doesn't know a fucking hike from a fucking butt plug, but I expect better of you, Jackpot. I really do.
The
You
Clemson,
expect better. It doesn't mean you're always going to get it.
when
Well-
facts are pulled, the Clemson man loses their mind. Okay,
Well, no, I'm not going to have you piss on our national title. We
Well,
played.
Alabama had a rough season.
Get
You
the
know,
fuck out of here! They were perfect going into the game. God damn it! They
They,
didn't
yeah,
lose
their
any.
rough season they were beat up. I mean, Clemson wasn't
Oh,
tested.
shit.
They weren't tested.
they
Dude,
I
were.
mean, Alabama went through a meat grinder of a schedule, and they got exposed.
By a fresher team. That's
Well, yeah, there you go.
Whatever. Alabama got beat with a true freshman quarterback. All right, a true freshman quarterback walked the fucking dog on them. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay.
all right, Rob,
I'm
how
not
are-
going to sit here and bitch about shit like this, where I have to sit here and defend a national championship team that finished the season with 2 teams that finished inside of the top 5. No,
I-
I'm not. I don't have to do that. The
Forget-
trophy's sitting there. As
forget
a South Carolinian, you can go to the football building up there. I think it's in July, and you can go in and have a peek at those. I think it's 2 weeks out of the year. Get a good look, because as a Gamecock, you'll never earn one.
all right, Rob,
Come
but
on, that shit.
I'm not even talking about the national championship, but you, as a football fan, have to admit the ACC as a whole was down in 2018. Not even talking about the
Yeah.
national championship.
Hold on, I'm looking at the final rankings here. Syracuse finished.
ACC was down. Well, the ACC was down that year. I mean, when was it ever up?
Syracuse finished 17th in that poll. Looking for the rest of the
The last
stuff.
time it was up was when South Carolina was in it. Gamecocks.
Oh, now we're just being
Nine,
stupid.
but
Fair enough. Whatever it is you need to have on, hang your hat on. I know it's talking season, but whatever.
I mean, Rob, the facts, okay? You played who you played to get there. We can't deny that.
And they won every game. And they're
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, you beat the teams on your schedule. That's all you can do.
Exactly. And
not
nobody
like they changed the schedule. If they did, South Carolina wouldn't be on it because they hurt our schedule every year.
I don't know about that. We were probably the best team you played that year.
Probably so. I mean, yeah, definitely put up the most yards on them
According to what?
by a
According to
ton.
the rankings, no. According to the rankings, no.
The Jake Bentley.
South Carolina put up over 2 times as many yards against you as Alabama
And
did.
you lost by 3 fucking touchdowns.
We're talking about yardage.
Oh, that's great. Do they put up yardage? Does that matter on the scoreboard, or does it matter what the score?
It's on the scoreboard, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but that doesn't really help you in the end, though, does it?
The more high-tech
Yeah,
scoreboards it
we
is.
got
I
our-
mean,
we
I
got
probably
our
don't have one of those
in,
over there.
but, we got our dicks kicked in by like 3 touchdowns, but man, we got a lot of yards. It was awesome. We got a lot of yards.
I'm just saying, you give South Carolina that schedule during that run, and Muschamp still has a job right now. I can guarantee that.
Okay. I mean, I've tried to educate you people on this stuff, and I just can't. So, I just can't.
I mean, you did try.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't get you can't help people. I mean, I have a national title that I can look back on.
Sometimes people just don't want to be learned.
Well, I'm just
Learned.
can't even
What
admit
the fuck are you talking about,
ACC was-
Jack?
the fact you can't even admit the ACC was down that year, I think, is indicative
It
as
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the conference is down. They beat. All right, let's say the SEC is the best conference. All right, we can do that. The best team from the SEC played Clemson, a little itty bitty ACC team, and got their fucking dicks kicked in. Your go.
All right, we're halfway
You
there.
got
We're halfway there
Your
now.
go.
Hold
Okay, I don't have anything else for you, sir.
on.
Nothing
No,
else for me to say here.
my go. You said my go. Now we're halfway there. You just said the
Okay.
ACC was down, the SEC was better. Now will you admit that physicality standpoint, the team that would play in the weaker conference would have an advantage come game time?
Nope. Everybody plays 12
Yeah,
games.
Alabama went through a hell of a year, hell of a schedule. I mean, it caught up with them.
Sure. If you want to believe all that, that's fine.
And you
That's fine and dandy, sir. Fine and dandy.
you know what else, Rob? I think it was a game. I think Alabama already had their sights set forward to the next year when they had to come into that ruckus Williams-Brice environment. So they really didn't even take y'all that serious, if we're being honest.
What are we talking about?
Oh, yeah, in 2019 when Tua came to town, that's what they were really worried about.
Tua wasn't on that team in 2019, was he? No.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
At the
I'll have to
game.
go look.
Yeah, I was
I,
well, we got
I don't buy. I'm not going to sit here and buy into that logic because it doesn't make any sense. If the SEC was so much better and Alabama was so much better, why did they lose by 4 touchdowns? You have a better coach. Nick Saban's a better coach than Dabo Swinney. Light years better coach. You had better talent top to bottom. Of the 22 players that were starters for Alabama, 21 of them were drafted in the first 2 rounds. Okay? How did Clemson beat them?
Lawnmower Man says he wouldn't piss on the Gamecocks. Well, good. I mean, at least you're respectful, unlike most of the rest of your fan base.
I appreciate that, Lawnmower. Me personally, I don't like getting pissed on, so
Neither do I.
yeah, I'm not upset at
I understand where you guys come from because you have to ride SEC dick because you are a consistent 7-win team. We'll give you 7 wins. But in all actuality, you're not on that level, the level that Clemson was during that time. You're not.
Is that why half your fans were rocking Gamecock flag cars in the 2010s, Rob?
I'm not speaking for the half-ass fans or people that go to one school and then root for another. I'm not doing that. I'm not speaking for half-ass bitches. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about for me, for guys that were around during the Neon Green era and shit like that. I know what Clemson football is.
I got
Okay?
my owl, baby. My
Sure.
We lost to Neon Green once, so
I'm saying, guys.
Anyway.
Hold up.
What?
Let me just say this. I asked him to name the elite players. He said Daniel Jones, Cam Akers, and AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
My case.
AJ Dillon. Hold on. And there were others too. Dalvin Cook was a bum, right? You want to go with that?
Dalvin Cook was good, but on a shitty.
Okay. But you said there were no great players. I gave you 4 players that played in the NFL. And you're like, oh my God, he just shit on my argument. The Gamecocks are great. That's your whole argument, man.
Just because you
It's
say
your
it
whole
with
argument, and I've grown very tired of it. So here's what we're gonna do.
What about Aaron Donald? Was he on the team then?
Yeah, Aaron Donald was on the Pittsburgh team, considered one of the greatest fucking defensive players of all time. He's
There
a
you
bum.
go.
Right? He's a bum too, right? Is he a bum, sir?
Wasn't
You
on
want to
that.
go down that road?
Wasn't
Huh?
on that. He wasn't.
Bullshit, he wasn't. Yes, he was.
He was. I do not think
Oh
he
my god.
in
Let's
2016.
see here. Aaron Donald. Where did he play?
He played at Pittsburgh, but I'm talking about the year
No,
wise.
I'm talking about the years that he played at Pitt. I can't find it.
He got drafted in 16, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, either way, he was an ACC player that played during Clemson's dominant run. But he's a bum, right?
Rob, every player you name.
Is Aaron Donald a bum?
No.
Okay, thank you. Why don't you do your little spur horns
TK
down?
says Clemson would go 7-5 if they played Missouri's schedule. I mean,
yeah,
I can't agree with that. I know that they beat Boston College.
That wouldn't happen. $1,000 that they play that SEC schedule, they win more than 7 games. Anybody want to bet it? I mean, if we could put that in a
this year,
we would. Yep, this year, $1,000.
You won 8.
7-5 against that SEC schedule.
You get that? You won 8 last year.
Have you seen
They won
Mizzou's
8
schedule?
last year against ACC schedule.
Sure.
Oh,
Here's the thing: you're talking out of your ass. You haven't even looked at Mizzou's schedule. I have.
I looked at. I was watching you looking at. I thought you were talking about South Carolina, not Missouri.
No, I said I'll bet you $1,000 if they were in that vacuum, Clemson would win 7, at least 7.
Yeah, I mean,
more.
I'll give you that. You'd get 7.
But, Clemson plays a bunch of bums.
But granted, South Carolina gets 7 wins.
Here's a dumbass here. Christopher says Rob swears the ACC is better than the fucking SEC. I never said that. I am not a fucking conference dick licker. I don't do that. I don't have to do that because I can support my team because my fucking team wins games. I don't have to look at it. Well, we played a team that ended up being really fucking good. I don't have to do that.
Because you don't
it's
play
liberating as a fucking fan. It really is. Because I don't have to sit here and be like, well, Mizzou played pretty good. We played them. We were close. And they're in our conference. Let's jerk each other off.
Last year, you had fallen to the depths of you had to rile up one of your fans to get Dabo so triggered that he actually went out there and started coaching people hard. And y'all won a few games that you shouldn't have.
Did Dabo Sweeney break his foot on a Gatorade cooler? Did Dabo Sweeney
Tyler from Spartanburg took Dabo to Dick City?
Did he cry like a bitch in a press conference? Did that happen? I don't remember.
He may have.
Go ahead.
He whined. I know that.
And then move on.
At least he knows the names of his recruits. All right. We can't say that about the guy from the upstate. What's your name? I'm here with Braylon. What's your name again? I just signed you, but what's your name? Like, come on, dude. Don't talk about Shane.
I will talk about Shane Beamer. He's a fucking clown.
What?
You don't think he's a clown, then you're part of the problem.
How am I part of the problem, Rob?
Well, you're part of the problem that you're just settling for Shane Beamer. He should have never gotten fucking hired there. You should think like I think, that South Carolina has the potential to be a great program, and they shouldn't have went cost-cutting on a coach. You should be upset as a Gamecock fan. We went and got someone that had 0 experience, that has a record of stealing playbooks and being an assistant coach. That's what we got. But he wanted to be here because he was born in Charleston.
He didn't steal anything. Somebody gave it to him.
Hey,
he had it.
At least our coach doesn't have a record of fucking Austrian use and taking money from a church down the road, okay? I don't want to hear that.
Show me records where they got money from a church, sir. I'll wait.
What? I see how you just the Austrian, right?
There's no records left because they destroyed them.
You
the Austrian thing, they were not
destroyed the evidence
at all.
Do you remember your best players?
You're so dumb. What?
We haven't mentioned that yet.
What are you talking about?
Fucking Christian Wilkins, Austrian. I could go down.
Christian Wilkins didn't test positive.
Dexter Lawrence was the one.
Dexter Lawrence, you're coming in with complete nonsense here. It was Dexter
So
Long.
he does admit that he did do it. You hear him?
Yeah, he tested positive for it. What are you talking about? Yeah, I have no problem admitting facts. I'm not a Gamecock fan.
Well,
I don't
do you
have to sit here and live on a shield of lies.
Kale
Yeah, it
will
happened. And they didn't. And they did, according to the NCAA rules, they did not play in a game after they were tested positive for Osterine. Sorry.
Is this
Sorry
the same
that hurt your
day
feelings.
that gave the most recent NFL coach hire a 4-year college ban?
What? What are you talking about?
John Harbaugh, 4-year college ban.
Sure. What are you talking? I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
I'm saying the NCAA's fucking weight and opinion holds very little to me.
Okay, but they are the governing body of college football, right?
And how many games did they play before they tested them?
Apparently they passed the test before. When they failed the test, they didn't play anymore. What do you want?
Well, I will say this because I looked this up because I remember
what do you want? They did not play after they tested positive, sir. What else do you want?
They should have been tested preseason, midseason.
You're like the prom queen, man. That is the prom queen. That has to be told every day she's the prom queen.
You think a test at the end of the year when they test positive at the end of the year? You think they weren't playing the whole season?
Completely within the rules, sir.
Okay. I will say that
according to the NCAA, they were within the rules.
If you remember what the excuse was, it was, it was in a protein shake. I looked it up. You can't administer Osterine any other way than through a syringe. These motherfuckers.
Once again, I don't care.
I thought they said it came from the tattoos or.
These motherfuckers are shooting.
Dabo Sweeney ran his mouth and said it was in fucking
shampoo bottle.
Yeah. All of that. Once they were rule breakers, they didn't play anymore.
They were cheating.
But they played the whole season.
You don't know that for sure. They did not test positive in any other.
Cheating. I mean, you might as well have went out there and handed them money in freaking Hardee's bags.
Listen. You think they tested positive at the end of the season? Are you that naive to think they weren't taking it throughout?
I'm saying within the rules, they played by the rules until they tested positive. We have to go with that.
But
that's the NCAA.
We can think critically, Rob. If they tested positive at the end of the season, you would be able to assume
we can make mountains out of molehills. So I can be under the logic that. I don't know, the 1980s South Carolina's teams that were doped up on everything, since they had steroids in the locker room, maybe they had steroids in them last year simply because they were there before. We could just make up things.
That would be critical thinking, Rob. That's what that would be. Now,
it's just making up stuff. It's just making up stuff for shit kicker teams that are never fucking relevant is what it boils down to.
Hey, Kale. I've got to ask your opinion. If you let's use it in South Carolina terms, okay? Let's say Lenora Sellers, a week before the playoffs start, tests positive for Osterine. Are we going to assume he just took it for that last week of the season, or are we going to assume that motherfucker was doped up all year long?
No, I mean, one would think it was probably some kind of habit,
One would think.
You can think that, but under the rules, we have to follow the rules. I know the rules hurt. When you follow the rules, that's the way that it is. Sorry.
Taylor Made over in the comment section says, people don't want to speak on this. Yo, let me speak on this. Shane Beamer took Tennessee and Clemson game tape from Michigan in 2022. Beamer, second time getting caught doing this and let off the hook. Oh, fucking well. We win, you lose. And he didn't get let off the hook. He was fined $25,000 the last time he stole signals.
We also put sand on the field, you fuckers. We did it on purpose too. Fuck you.
None of which anyone can prove, and was completely within the rules. Sorry.
Prove your players were doped up
for the test that they had. Yes, sir.
Yep, they only took.
And they didn't play anymore.
They took it for 1 week. You're right. Rob.
They didn't play anymore. All I'm saying, we don't know that for sure.
I wish I could get me some of that Clemson cocktail, man. I'd be weighing about 260 right now and absolutely.
I know. Well, I mean, I wish that you would get some Clemson knowledge in your brain, because you'd realize if it's by the rules, then you can't argue with it.
That's Clemson knowledge right there. I lived through it. I know what's going on here. What are you talking about?
Christopher says, Rob said, didn't you say if Carolina was in the ACC, we wouldn't win more than 4 to 5 games? Yeah, depending on the schedule. I don't think you're that great. I really don't.
Who's beating us this year? Just this year, who's beating us?
Well, I think Miami beat you. I think Florida State could beat you. Clemson beats you. NC State beats you. I mean, you want to keep going up and down the line?
No.
SMU beats you.
Okay, I'm not giving you
SMU blows you out. There's 5 right there.
I'll give you Miami. I'll give you Florida State. You're not getting NC State.
Florida State? No.
What about SMU? What about SMU?
No.
You know that either? Oh, you think you beat SMU? Okay.
Yeah. Who did SMU play last year?
Oh, who'd they play?
I'm serious. I can't even think of it. What conference were they in? I can't think of it right now. Was it Big 12?
No, the American Athletic.
The American.
They went from the American Athletic to the All Coast Conference. Did they upgrade, or was that like a lateral move?
I think it might have been a downgrade. The way that ACC.
That's very possible.
Sure.
I'm just saying. I know we've been going on late. I'll leave us with this. If you'll just let me rant a little bit, okay?
All right.
What we've established here today, all right? The best players Clemson played in their natty run in the ACC, AJ, Cam Akers, Daniel Jones, Dalvin Cook was good on a shitty team. Their coach got fired that year, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
So Dalvin Cook on probably the worst Florida State team in the last 30 years. But also,
first of all, you said something there. You said we've established that. No, a jerk off said that. That's not established. All right, so make sure that you're saying the correct things here.
All right, and I'll finish off. We've also established that you get a player who tests positive for PEDs, but he wasn't on them throughout the season. He was just on them at the end of the year when he tested positive.
Can you prove it? No.
He tried it one time. It was just once.
It was just once. He just took one syringe and put it in his fucking thigh. That's all it was. Just one syringe.
What's the old Bill Clinton? The Bill Clinton clip. I never had sex with that woman.
I didn't inhale was also the Bill Clinton thing. I didn't inhale the marijuana.
So I never had sex with that woman. She's all serious about it.
Jizzing all over her damn blue dress. Fuck.
But I'll leave y'all with this, and I appreciate y'all letting me go on for so long. Horns down. Fuck Texas, all right? You lost your best quarterback to fucking Duke, okay? Your best quarterback's playing for Duke this year. You're a poverty program. You're going to come in. You're going to win 8 games, maybe 7 if you're lucky, all right? You're shit. Clemson, man, needs to take that humble fucking pill. You were 100.
All right, I'm tired of hearing his mouth. He got plenty of time. I mean, I'll let him run his dick sucker forever.
Oh Lord, Rob, I think we need to get out of here for this evening.
We need to get out of here because it's late, and I'm sorry we kept Jackpot up so late.
Oh no, it's good. I love it.
Well, anyway, we don't argue with hardware on the program. Want to come at me with that? Have at it. Appreciate you guys as always, and we shall see you on Sunday where we will do the rest of the SEC.
Thanks.
Over and under. See you guys later on.